Hi everyone! Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to part 2 of our complete cottage garden tour for June of 2023. My name's Laura and we live in Connecticut, Zone 6. So we are starting by the gate that leads into the back, so we're going to kind of go backwards here. But in this basket here, I just have some petunias, some balcony petunias that I grew from seed, Baker Creek seed. And there's a few even pansies and violas still in there that are doing fine. And then I think I have 1 or 2 Jacoby little pumpkins that will grow from seed and hopefully cover the trellis with little pumpkins in the fall. So that'll be very exciting. And then on the other side of the fence, I have a similar basket. This side gets a little bit more sun, so they're growing a little bit better on this side. So there's some Alyssum in here. There's more balcony petunias and more pansies. And then there's also a snail vine in here. That one, I showed you guys one of those in the back as well. It kind of looks like poison ivy because it's got the 3 leaves. But that should start growing more quickly now that the heat has started to come on. And they have like really cool looking flower shells. Like after they bloom, they leave like a shell that looks like a snail. It's really cool looking. This is a clematis on this arch here, and it's actually planted right behind the fence so that its roots are a little bit more shaded. I do have over here a plumbago. This is not hardy to our zone. It's, I think, only zone 7, but I kept it inside over the winter and it's starting to grow. There's Boomer. I just wanted to show you how he likes to stick his face right in the little diamond shape. And then there's a little Alyssum there as well. I don't know how that got in there actually. It snuck in. But I'm not complaining. I'm all about Alyssum this year. Over here I have a lilac, and I believe this is a bloomerang. I've had it for a long time, longer than I've really been gardening for, so I don't know the exact type. I believe it's a bloomerang because it does rebloom. And this was gorgeous a few weeks ago, if you saw my last complete garden tour. And over there, I also have an autumn joy sedum in here, and I have, there's some echinacea seedlings in here. This is a catmint, and the darker plant behind it is a weigela. And then I have a couple roses. I had 3 here, but I lost one. Did not live over the winter for me. And then I have some echinacea over here and some yarrow. I'm kind of trying to make drifts of those. And then I have this beautiful spirea on the end. And here's a shot of the walkway. And this spirea, I believe, is a candy corn. I'm not 100% positive because this is another one that I've had for a long time. But it's beautiful, and it's given me some babies too, so I like that. And then in here I have planted along the pathway, I have these greetings from Jeromere petunias that I grew from Baker Creek seeds. I did a video going over some of the petunias if you want more of a look at those. I did pop some Cosmo seedlings in with the yarrow. They have similar foliage styles, So I thought that would be kind of cool looking together. You can see those are the smaller ones mixed in with the yarrow. And then I believe I also threw some zinnia seedlings. And you can see some bubblegum petunias. I got about, I think, 6 or 7 of these bubblegum petunias, hoping to just fill in a lot of space by the end of the season. And then here I have a bunch of Alyssum that I grew from seed. And they're beautiful. I just love Alyssum so much this year. Here's some more of the, I just call them Jerome petunias for short. But this one looks like more of the double bloom. They can come in a single or a double bloom. Here's a closer look at some of the Cosmo seedlings. And these echinaceas, I have all different ones. Mostly purple, but I also have white. And then I got a Cheyenne Spirit one last year, and I think I split it up. So I'm not sure which ones are which at this point, but I don't really care. This rose came out beautiful. It's a nice pink. And the one next to it just bloomed the other day, and it's a little bit redder. Some catmint in here. And that little hot green, lime green, that's one of the babies from the spirea that I got. And we also have a lot of oxeye daisy that grows wild here. You'll see some more of it in a minute, but this is that. It just hasn't bloomed yet. I love that plant. Some people pull it out as a weed, but I love them. The daisies are so cute. I have a happy face potentilla up here, and then a bunch of hydrangeas along the back there. The potentilla has definitely started to fill out more, so I'm happy with it now. I like it. And then I have a bunch of ageratum seedlings in here. Last year I grew ageratum from seed from Baker Creek, and it was like one of my favorite plants last year. They produced all season. They grew really big. This year I got a different type. I didn't get the mix. I just got the darker purple and the lighter purple. The plants seem a little bit smaller, but I did have some issues in the beginning with spider mites. They're bouncing. They look great now, but they're just a little bit smaller than I would expect. But we have also had a really cold spring. Have some more autumn joy sedum here on both sides of the stairs. We actually don't use our front door because our house is really tiny. We use the side entrance for everything. I don't know why that matters, but more ageratum seedlings over here, and another baby spirea. And then I have this happy face potentilla, has a few blooms on it. This one on this side gets a little bit more sun, and it's definitely fuller than the one on the other side. And it's really cute. I have more hydrangeas back here. More nepeta over here. And that is a little Leyland cypress. This is the oxeye daisy that I was talking about. There's actually an azalea there, but this oxeye daisy just popped up like right through it, and I thought it looked really pretty like that, so I just left it. And then I did pop a few sedums along the edge here. I got these at the end of the season last year. I'm not exactly sure the type, and they were pretty much evergreen over the winter, so I moved them out here in hopes for them to be that in the front. I like evergreen. I need more of that. And here we come back down the path, and I will show you guys. This is what I call the strip garden. So here we have a bunch of yarrow, and then I also have that tall one is a larkspur that looks like it is just about to bloom. And that's another one that I put in together because their foliage looks so similar. And their bloom heads are really cute. They look like little heads of broccoli almost. And over here I have a bunch of phlox. And I did seed some zinnias in here as well. I don't know if they'll come up. Sometimes the birds grab my seeds when I just seed things. That's another oxeye daisy. And these are asters that I grew from seed, and more ageratum. That's also called floss flower. And then here I have a drift of salvia. There's a white and a purple in there. And then I also put some ageratum seedlings kind of interspersed, but they have not bloomed yet. But I think they'll look really cool together when they do. And then over here, you can just see there's like little tiny bee balm seedlings. Some of them self-seeded from last year. That's spotted bee balm. This is a bachelor's button that fell over in the storm. I'm probably just going to leave it like that. Well, I don't know about that one that's coming over the rocks, but... And then here's my peony. So I bought a support for it at the beginning of the season. It's too small, obviously. And of course, it rained like the day that these bloomed. So they really collapsed on themselves a lot. I have done my best to hold them up, but it's just not working very well. This is an echinacea up here. This one's just a purple, standard purple coneflower. And then over here I have gladiolas, which is very exciting because I planted these last year. And they are supposed to only be hardy down to zone 8. And they came back for me. So I'm very excited about that. And I think there's more than what I had last year. And those are from the dollar store. I put some ageratum seedlings in here. And some, I don't know which type, but it's Super Bina from Proven Winners, the purple. And then this is another oxeye daisy. I just love these when they're in bloom. They look so pretty. This here, I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's a volunteer. I thought maybe it was a sunflower. It has a really strong stalk. I'm not sure on that one. This is a coneflower. And then I have a Supertunia and another Superbina. And then there are some random tomato seedlings that self-seeded themselves up here. So that was weird. But I'm just going to let them grow. We'll see what happens. I'll just probably bring out like a stake and like single stake them. Over here by the maple, this is a kind of a new area that I just sort of redid. I just put this bed in last year. And my husband just helped me widen it. And we got some plants from just around the garden and filled it in more. And then over here, I put in some hydrangeas because it only gets morning sun really under this maple. And then these are more of the balcony petunia. These are both from the same seed packet. And that's just to show you how different they can come out. So this one's light purple and the other one is like a stripy maroon almost. really cool looking. I love this plant. And then I have some violas and pansies in here. And some columbine seedlings. And then I put Mr. Frog over here. There's actually, I was going to put him in the tree. There's like a hole under the tree. I think that the groundhog was using that, and I don't know if they're still using it. So I just put the frog on the outside. The tree seems to be living just fine with this hole in it. It's been there as long as I've been here, and that's 10 years almost. So here's some more pansies. And a few more petunias that I grew from seed. There's also a, we get a lot of wild raspberries. So right there in the front is a little wild raspberry. And over here is kind of a mix of things, which I love. There's some larkspur in here. Some pansies, some petunias. There's a bunch of alyssum in the front. And these larkspur are definitely looking like they want to bloom. I love the foliage on these. This is my first time growing larkspur. The dark violas here are called Bowles Black. And then the more blue ones were called Blue Perfection, both from Baker Creek. And then there's another bubblegum petunia over here. But this alyssum is really filling out beautifully. I love when it gets, really clumpy like that. Gorgeous. Some more of the Bowles Black. And then this is a lilac that I transplanted from the back. And this is a coneflower here. I believe this is just a purple, but it could be a white one. We'll see. They should be blooming soon. A lot of them have bloom heads on them. I have some more yarrow over here. And some more of the asters that I grew from seed. I'll be excited to see those bloom, because I haven't grown those before. And then I put 3 hydrangeas back here. So one is called a vanilla milkshake. And there's a limelight. And I'm not sure of the third one. I got them on clearance at the end of last season for like $10 at Home Depot, and I just grabbed them up. There's a sedum up here, and then I'm trying to make this bed be lined with lavender. So I took what I had from around the yard and put them out here, and I think I have like 5 or 6 right now. But if you watched my back garden tour, you'll see there I do have 3 more in the back that I think I'm going to move up to the front. And then I shouldn't need too many more after that to finish lining that side. And then I also put a little dappled willow at the end there. That's what that was. And in the front, this is down by the curb, like right by the street. We do not live on a busy street or anything. These are ageratum seedlings, more of those. I grew a lot of them. And these ones are looking pretty good. And then I put a few supertunias out here. This is where there's a bunch of daffodils, and I cut the daffodils back, but they're still looking kind of gross. So I think I'm going to need to add maybe some more mulch on top just to kind of hide them, because I can't really cut them any lower than I did. These little seedlings are salvia from Baker Creek, and it's called Serious Blue. And I actually mixed these and the blue spice basil. I put like a strip of these all along the roadside. And the reason being is because the critters will not want to eat either one of those plants. Salvia, if you know, it does not smell that great. And the critters don't usually like it either. And then the blue spice basil from Baker Creek is like just an amazing plant. I talked about it in my back garden tour. I can't wait until they get bigger so I can show you guys. But they grow really big in the heat, and they put on like purple flowers that are very similar to like salvia. They're just really cool looking plant, and I love them, and they smell fantastic. So I have a couple of spirea out here. This is another kind of new area that I made last year. And so I put some forsythia in here to kind of repeat. I have some more of them around the property. This is an elderberry, and it's gorgeous. But it is planted right next to a Rose of Sharon. If you can see, they're like really close together. And I don't love that. But I don't know. They're both pretty mature. I don't know if I can really do anything about it. This area is kind of a shared area with my neighbor. So it's mostly like naturalized and has a lot of native things. But there is some pulmonaria over here on the slope. This is a slopey area also. So we deal with erosion, always trying to put things in there that have good roots. And then the yard part here, I'm thinking about bringing the garden out more. You can kind of see there's almost like it's almost like it was like that previously. And then over here where it's longer, this is, I'm trying to turn into a meadow, or I'm just kind of testing it out for this year. See what happens. I just been like throwing a bunch of seeds in there. Whenever I have extras, I'll just throw them in there. And then I mow around it, so we're not walking through it or anything. There's some lilacs in here that I planted, and some yarrow and some echinacea, and more daylilies. And this area also has like daffodils as well in the spring. And here's another lilac. Some more daylilies over here that are about to bloom. They should be blooming soon. And then there's a little creeping phlox back there. That's what that little pink dot is. And this is a crimson Ninebark. Just a tiny one that I got from an Etsy seller that I will link in the description. And then I planted a little viburnum over here. It's a little baby as well. And a forsythia. And that is pretty much it for the front garden. If you didn't get a chance to watch my back garden tour, there is quite a bit more stuff in the back. So check that out if you get a chance. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you are into this kind of content. I thank you so much for coming and for supporting the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!